What if everything you've been taught about death is a lie? What if the Grim Reaper isn't the end, but merely a doorway? Have you ever stopped to consider that the fear surrounding death might be a carefully constructed illusion, obscuring a far grander reality? The implications of this realization are staggering and far more significant than you can imagine. Overcoming the fear of death isn't just about personal comfort. It's about unlocking your full potential, living without limitations, and reshaping the very fabric of society. Consider how deeply ingrained the fear of death is in our modern world. From horror movies that exploit our primal anxieties to the subtle ways our culture avoids discussing death openly, we are constantly bombarded with messages that reinforce the idea that death is something to be feared. But what if this fear itself is the prison that keeps us from understanding what lies beyond? What if consciousness persists, independent of the physical body, and what we perceive as death is merely a transition to another state of being? Modern science often reduces consciousness to a mere byproduct of brain activity, but mounting evidence suggests that this view may be woefully incomplete. Alternative theories propose that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the universe, not limited by space or time. Our societal and cultural narratives play a significant role in shaping our perception of death. Religions often present intricate systems of reward and punishment, fueling the fear of judgment and the unknown. Consider the pervasive influence of cultural traditions that dictate how we grieve and memorialize the dead, often reinforcing the idea of death as a permanent and tragic loss. Yet, beneath these layers of conditioning, ancient wisdom traditions offer a different perspective. The mystery schools of antiquity, from the Hermeticists to the Gnostics, taught that death is not an ending, but a transformation, a shift in consciousness from one state to another. This understanding challenges the very foundation of our fear-based beliefs. Contemplate the broad impact of this illusion of death on society as a whole. Is it possible that the fear of death fuels our insatiable drive for power and wealth, leading to exploitation and conflict? Perhaps a world without the looming specter of death would prioritize compassion, sustainability, and genuine connection. Such a world might channel its resources away from weapons and war and towards scientific research and humanitarian efforts. The knowledge that death is not the end could revolutionize our political systems, economic structures, and social interactions, ushering in an era of unprecedented collaboration and understanding. Quantum physics offers another avenue for exploring the illusion of death. The observer effect suggests that our perception shapes reality. Imagine the possibilities that open up when one truly embraces that death is not the end. By confronting our deepest fears and questioning the narratives we've been told, we can unlock hidden abilities and live more authentically. We will delve into the core themes of transformation, empowerment, and self-discovery. Recognizing death as an illusion is the catalyst for personal and societal evolution, freeing individuals to pursue their passions, unburdened by fear. Ancient esoteric schools have long echoed this sentiment, often aligning with many concepts modern science is only now discovering. We will challenge your assumptions with a series of questions that delve into the very nature of consciousness and reality. If consciousness exists beyond the brain, where does it go after death? If fear is the primary barrier to understanding, how can we overcome it? If death is a transition, what does that transition entail? Prepare to journey into the hidden aspects of reality, explore non-physical realms through lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences, and uncover the secrets that have been guarded by mystics and scientists for centuries. We are about to embark on a journey of self-discovery. What we're about to show you in this exploration of both science and secret practices is nothing short of a new reality. But how does society maintain this illusion so effectively? Consider the news media, which thrives on sensationalism. Violent deaths, tragic accidents, and stories of loss dominate the headlines, reinforcing the idea that death is a terrifying and unpredictable event. the media rarely explores the possibility of an afterlife or the potential benefits of confronting our mortality. Instead, it focuses on the fear and suffering associated with death, creating a distorted and unbalanced view. This constant barrage of negativity programs our subconscious minds to associate death with dread and despair. It's a carefully orchestrated campaign of fear, designed to keep us in a state of anxiety and dependence. Even the education system, which should be a source of enlightenment, often perpetuates this illusion. Schools typically avoid discussing death altogether, leaving children unprepared for the inevitable reality of mortality. This silence further alienates people from the topic, making it seem taboo and frightening. The absence of education about death also prevents people from developing informed opinions about the afterlife, alternative perspectives, and coping mechanisms for grief. This lack of knowledge leaves us vulnerable to manipulation and control by external forces. Religious institutions can also contribute to the fear of death by presenting rigid dogmas about the afterlife. The threat of hellfire and damnation is a powerful tool for controlling behavior and maintaining power. While some religions offer comfort and hope, others exploit the fear of death to instill obedience and suppress dissent. This fear-based approach often prevents people from exploring their own beliefs and experiences, limiting their spiritual growth and understanding. Governments, corporations, and religious institutions have long understood the power of fear as a tool for control, and the fear of death is perhaps the most potent of all. Governments use the fear of terrorism to justify increased surveillance, restrictions on civil liberties, and military interventions. Corporations exploit the fear of economic insecurity to keep workers in line, suppressing wages and benefits. Religious institutions use the fear of hell to control their followers, demanding obedience and conformity. These fear-based control mechanisms are deeply ingrained in our society, shaping our beliefs, behaviors, and institutions. Understanding these mechanisms is the first step towards breaking free from their influence. Think about it. If people truly believed that death was not the end, would they be so easily manipulated by these fear tactics? Would they be so willing to sacrifice their freedoms for the illusion of security? The illusion of death serves to maintain the status quo, preventing people from questioning authority and pursuing their true passions. It's a system of control that benefits those in power at the expense of individual freedom and spiritual growth. But what if consciousness is not merely a product of the brain, as materialist science suggests? What if it exists independently of the physical body, capable of surviving death and transitioning to another state of being? Mounting evidence suggests that this may be the case. Studies on near-death experiences, NDEs, have shown that consciousness can persist even when the brain is not functioning. People who have clinically died and returned to life often report vivid experiences of traveling through a tunnel, encountering deceased loved ones, and experiencing a sense of profound peace and unity. These experiences challenge the reductionist view that consciousness is solely a product of brain activity, suggesting that it may have a non-local aspect. Furthermore, the philosophical concept of panpsychism posits that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, present in all things, not just brains. If this is true, then consciousness would not be limited by the physical body and could potentially survive death. The implications of panpsychism are profound, suggesting that the universe is not a cold, dead machine, but a living, conscious entity. This perspective challenges the very foundation of our materialist worldview, opening up new possibilities for understanding death and the nature of reality. Even our sensory perception limits our understanding of reality, creating a veil that obscures the true nature of existence. We only perceive a tiny fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum, the narrow band of visible light. Our brains filter out vast amounts of information, focusing only on what is deemed relevant for survival. Dogs, for example, can hear frequencies that humans cannot, and some animals can see ultraviolet light. What if death is simply a transition to a state of being beyond our limited sensory perception? What if there are realms of existence that we cannot perceive with our physical senses, but that are just as real as the world we experience every day? Consider the concepts of dark matter and dark energy, which make up the vast majority of the universe but are invisible to us. These mysterious substances exert a gravitational pull on visible matter, shaping the structure of galaxies and the expansion of the cosmos. What if death is a transition into this realm of dark matter and dark energy, a realm that is beyond our current scientific understanding, but that holds the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe? By recognizing the limitations of our sensory perception, we can begin to open our minds to the possibility of alternative realities and perspectives on death. This shift in perspective is crucial for dismantling the illusion of death and embracing a more expansive view of existence. Fear, in essence, limits our ability to perceive the illusion of death. It creates a filter that prevents us from seeing the true nature of reality. This filter distorts our perception, amplifying negative emotions and suppressing positive ones. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of anxiety and despair, preventing us from exploring alternative perspectives and experiencing the fullness of life. The fear of the unknown, the fear of pain, the fear of loss, these are all manifestations of the underlying fear of death. By confronting and overcoming these fears, we can begin to dismantle the illusion of death and embrace a more empowered and fulfilling life. Consider how the fear of the unknown prevents people from exploring alternative perspectives on death and consciousness. People are often afraid to question their beliefs, fearing social ridicule or the loss of their sense of identity. This fear prevents them from seeking out new information, engaging in critical thinking, and developing their own informed opinions. By overcoming this fear, we can open ourselves to a world of new possibilities and perspectives. This journey of self-discovery is essential for dismantling the illusion of death and embracing a more expansive view of reality. But how do we overcome this fear? How do we dismantle the illusion of death and embrace a more expansive view of reality? The answer, as it often does, lies in the hidden knowledge of ancient mystery schools and esoteric traditions. These traditions have long taught that death is not an ending, but a transition, a shift in consciousness from one state to another. The concept of reincarnation, for example, suggests that our souls are eternal, undergoing a series of lifetimes to learn and grow. Karma, another key concept, suggests that our actions have consequences, shaping our future experiences and guiding our spiritual evolution. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, for instance, depicts the afterlife as a journey through various realms, where the soul is tested and transformed. These ancient teachings offer a radically different perspective on death than the one typically presented in modern society. They suggest that death is not something to be feared, but a natural part of the cycle of life, a catalyst for spiritual growth and evolution. By exploring these esoteric traditions, we can gain a deeper understanding of death and its role in the grand scheme of existence. Quantum physics offers another lens through which to view death and consciousness, suggesting that the universe is far more interconnected and mysterious than we previously imagined. Concepts like quantum entanglement, where particles can be linked across vast distances, and superposition, where particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously, challenge our classical understanding of reality. What if these phenomena provide clues about the interconnectedness of all things and the possibility of non-local consciousness? What if our consciousness is not confined to our physical brains, but is instead entangled with the consciousness of the entire universe? Some physicists have even suggested that quantum mechanics may provide a mechanism for the survival of consciousness after death. The implications of these ideas are staggering, suggesting that death may not be the end of our consciousness, but a transition to another state of being within a vast, interconnected universe. The connections between ancient wisdom and modern science run deeper than many realize. The Hermetic principle of correspondence, as above, so below, reflects the fractal nature of the universe, as observed in mathematics and physics. This principle suggests that the same patterns and structures repeat themselves at different scales, from the smallest subatomic particles to the largest galaxies. What if this principle also applies to consciousness? What if our individual consciousness is a microcosm of the universal consciousness, reflecting the same patterns and structures as the cosmos itself? The Hermetic concept of the all is mind aligns with the idea that consciousness may be fundamental to reality, a concept that is gaining traction in modern physics. These connections between ancient wisdom and modern science reinforce the idea that there are timeless truths that transcend cultural and temporal boundaries. By exploring these connections, we can gain a deeper understanding of the nature of reality and our place within it. But theoretical knowledge is not enough. To truly understand death as an illusion, we must have direct experiences that challenge our conventional view of reality. This is where lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences, OBEs, come into play. Lucid dreaming is the ability to become aware that you are dreaming while you are still in the dream state. Out-of-body experiences are experiences in which your consciousness seems to separate from your physical body. Both of these practices can provide direct experiences of non-physical realms, challenging the conventional view that consciousness is limited to the physical brain. By learning to induce lucid dreams and OBEs, we can explore these non-physical realms for ourselves, gathering evidence for the survival of consciousness after death. There are numerous techniques for inducing lucid dreams, including reality testing, dream journaling, and meditation. OBEs can be induced through similar techniques, as well as through practices like visualization and deep relaxation. These practices can be transformative, providing direct evidence that our consciousness is not limited by our physical bodies. Ultimately, death should be regarded as a transformative process, akin to the alchemical concept of transmutation, rather than a final ending. Alchemy is the ancient art of transforming base metals into gold, but it is also a metaphor for the spiritual process of transforming ourselves from lead, ignorance, and fear into gold, wisdom, and love. Death can be seen as a catalyst for this spiritual transformation, a process that forces us to confront our fears, release our attachments, and embrace the unknown. Just as the alchemist subjects base metals to intense heat and pressure, death subjects us to the ultimate test, stripping away our illusions and revealing our true nature. By embracing death, we can live more fully in the present moment, appreciating the preciousness of life and the importance of living in alignment with our true purpose. Near-death experiences often lead to profound personal transformations, with people reporting a greater sense of love, compassion, and purpose. These transformations suggest that death can be a powerful catalyst for spiritual growth and evolution, not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as a natural part of the cycle of life. Death, as we have explored, often appears as an illusion, a construct built from societal conditioning, the primal grip of fear, and the inherent limitations of our sensory perception. We are led to believe in its finality, its terrifying unknown, but what if this perception is simply a veil, obscuring a far grander reality? Consider the analogy of radio waves. They exist all around us, constantly transmitting information, yet we only perceive them when we have a receiver tuned to the correct frequency. Our consciousness may function similarly, existing independently of the physical brain, only becoming receivable during our physical existence, but continuing far beyond it. The end of the body is simply the cessation of the receiving apparatus. By directly confronting our deepest fears about death, we begin to realize it is not a full stop, but a transition to a state beyond our current comprehension. When we dare to look beyond the veil of fear, the illusion crumbles and we glimpse the true, expansive nature of reality. Take, for example, someone who has spent their life terrified of death, haunted by the unknown. Through consistent journaling, meditation, and visualization exercises, they begin to confront those fears directly. They explore the possibility of an afterlife, consider the experiences of those who have had near-death encounters, and delve into the teachings of various spiritual traditions. Gradually, their fear diminishes, replaced by a sense of peace and acceptance. This profound shift in perspective allows them to live more fully in the present moment, appreciating each day as a precious gift, instead of living in dread of an inevitable end. The convergence of ancient wisdom and modern science offers compelling validation for a deeper understanding of consciousness and reality. The Hermetic principle of as above, so below mirrors the holographic universe theory, suggesting that the universe is a vast, interconnected system, with patterns repeating at every scale. Just as a hologram contains the entire image within each of its parts, so too may our individual consciousness contain the essence of the universal consciousness. This isn't just esoteric speculation. It's a reflection of how quantum entanglement and non-locality defy our classical understanding of space and time, hinting at a reality where everything is interconnected. Understanding death as an illusion unlocks immense transformative potential. It liberates us from the shackles of limiting beliefs, empowers us to embrace our full potential, and inspires us to live with purpose and passion. The answers to life's greatest mysteries lie not in external sources, but within ourselves, waiting to be discovered through self-exploration and introspection. Understanding death as an illusion places our individual existence within a much broader cosmic context. Our personal transformation becomes intertwined with the evolution of consciousness itself. By overcoming our fear of death, we contribute to the collective awakening of humanity, helping to create a world where love, compassion, and understanding prevail. Remember that everything is interconnected. Our individual understanding ripples outward, influencing the collective consciousness. Embracing this interconnectedness requires us to recognize our responsibility to one another and to the planet. When we act from a place of love and compassion, we create a positive feedback loop, inspiring others to do the same. The pattern of fear-illusion realization is more than just a mental exercise. It is a pathway to profound personal growth. Fear is not something to be avoided, but a signal pointing us towards areas where we have the potential to expand our understanding and awareness. By embracing our fears, rather than running from them, we unlock hidden truths about ourselves and the universe. The illusion then becomes not a barrier, but a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey towards enlightenment. It's about connecting the dots in our minds and hearts to see a larger picture. The implications of understanding death as an illusion are profound, fundamentally altering how we approach life. It enables us to prioritize what truly matters: authentic connections, meaningful experiences, and the pursuit of our unique purpose. It encourages us to live with intention, making the most of each and every moment, rather than postponing our dreams and passions for a future that may never come. This understanding permeates our daily routines, from the way we interact with others to the choices we make about how to spend our time and energy. Living with this awareness necessitates a shift towards ethical behavior, genuine empathy, and selfless service to others. Consider how we might contribute to a more compassionate and sustainable world by embracing this understanding. Perhaps by volunteering our time to help those in need, advocating for social justice, or making conscious choices to reduce our environmental impact. These actions, born from a place of love and understanding, create a ripple effect, inspiring positive change throughout the world. So, what does all of this mean for you, here and now? It means understanding death as an illusion necessitates a fundamental shift in how we approach life, emphasizing ethical behavior, empathy, and service to others. It compels us to live in alignment with our values, to treat each other with kindness and respect, and to work towards creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Has your perspective shifted? Have you found new questions within? Was something confirmed within you? Throughout this exploration, we've sought to answer the question of what happens when we realize death is an illusion. Is it simply wishful thinking, a comforting thought, or is it a profound shift in perception that alters our experience of reality itself? The answer, as we've seen, is the latter. Understanding death as an illusion is not about denying the physical reality of death, but about recognizing the continuity of consciousness beyond the physical realm. While some may argue against this perspective, citing the lack of definitive scientific proof, it is important to remember that science is constantly evolving. What was once considered impossible may one day become accepted fact. Furthermore, the experience of countless individuals throughout history, from near-death experiencers to spiritual masters, suggests that there is more to reality than meets the eye. Our journey has led us through the patterns of fear-illusion realization, showing how conquering fear allows us to see beyond the illusion and embrace the true nature of reality. We've also explored the convergence of ancient wisdom-modern science, demonstrating how esoteric teachings align with scientific discoveries. These patterns serve as guideposts, illuminating the path towards a deeper understanding of death and consciousness. To summarize, remember that fear perpetuates the illusion that consciousness may extend beyond the physical, and that death is but a transition. We've touched upon thought-provoking questions such as, what if death isn't the end? What if our consciousness is connected to something larger? What if our fears are preventing us from seeing the truth? Hopefully, the answers we've explored have offered some insights and inspiration, but it is essential to remember that true understanding comes from your own personal exploration and discovery. Don't simply take my word for it. Seek out your own experiences, question your own beliefs, and come to your own conclusions. Therefore, let us cultivate a sense of peace and acceptance, recognizing the naturalness of death and the continuity of consciousness. Release your fears, embrace the mystery, and live each moment to the fullest. But what lies beyond this initial realization? What new layers of inquiry await us as we continue to explore the illusion of reality? Consider advanced techniques for lucid dreaming, allowing us to consciously explore the non-physical realms with greater clarity and control. What could we discover by delving deeper into esoteric practices, unlocking the hidden knowledge of ancient mystery schools? What other dimensions of consciousness might we access, expanding our understanding of reality beyond our wildest imaginations? The implications of understanding death as an illusion extend far beyond our personal lives, potentially revolutionizing fields such as healthcare, technology, and spirituality. Imagine a world where death is no longer feared, but embraced as a natural transition, where healthcare focuses on supporting the whole person body, mind, and spirit, and where technology is used to enhance our consciousness and connect us to one another in new and meaningful ways. I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below, creating a sense of community and shared learning. What resonated with you most in this video? What questions do you still have? What steps will you take to further explore the illusion of reality? Consider forming local groups to discuss these ideas together, supporting one another on this journey of self-discovery. The possibilities are endless, limited only by our own imagination and willingness to explore. And as we continue to probe, new discoveries and insights await, further transforming our understanding of death and consciousness. So let's continue to explore the illusion of reality and to live more fully in the present moment. Remember, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Death is not the enemy, but a doorway. To fear death, my friends, is only to think ourselves wise without being wise, for it is to think that we know what we do not know. No one knows whether death may not be the greatest good that can happen to man.